What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm testing out the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens which just came in today, and I bought this lens because a lot of you guys were nice enough to comment on my latest autofocus testing videos that if you use a Sigma lens then the autofocus on a Panasonic, for instance Panasonic G9, just works much better. You don't get that pulsing background. Now I made those videos in concern or with the point of kind of testing out the firmware update 2.4 which came out a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it did improve the autofocus by quite a lot. I think you know, they say they brought it kind of to the S5 level autofocus now, so I did notice a lot of difference. I've also tested out different resolutions and different frame rates and shutter speeds, and you know what impacts and whatnot. So, but it was still kind of not really accurate. I mean, the tracking was awesome, but the background was still coming in and out of focus. And I was using the Leica 12 to 60mm f2.8 lens, which is a kit lens for the Lumix G9. Now, a lot of you guys, as I said, mentioned that if you buy a Sigma lens, then that problem kind of disappears. So this is what I'm testing today. Now, hopefully the background all of this time was nice and still it didn't come in and out of focus. That's kind of what I'm hoping. I didn't test this out, so this is like the first test, so I have no idea if it works or not. Earlier today I went out into the forest and tried it as a vlogging lens, which I think it's a little too tight for vlogging. It's also a little too heavy. Now for the vlogging part of the test, I'm gonna take this lens into the woods and see how well this performs, because there's a lot of contrast and a lot of dark and bright areas, which means I'm really going to use the f1.4 to its full advantage. Of course, I'm going to use an ND filter and probably auto ISO because it's going to be constantly changing. Now this isn't it. This is the Laowa 7.5mm f2 lens, which I usually use for my vlogging videos, and I think it's nice because you know, there's a lot of mosquitoes. I think it's nice because, you know, it has that really nice field of view. However, 16mm is 32mm full frame, which I think is gonna be a little bit tight. I'm gonna switch the lens and see how it works. Wow, talk about being in a tight space. It's really tight behind me, as you can see. Wow. I mean, the lens focuses kind of slower than what I'm used to. You know, the Leica 12 to 60mm is like spot on fast focus, and I think that's also the problem because it's constantly adjusting the focus really fast, and you can see that in that pulsing background. This, however, supposedly it's gonna work better, but I think the test right now is how well it tracks me if I just talk to a camera like this, where I'm looking away, where things are changing, the light is changing, the colors are not changing, they're green, and I have to say it's quite heavier. Now this lens is really heavy, especially compared to the Laowa lens that I had before, which weighs like nothing. This one is, I don't know, half a kilo or even more, I think. Not really sure, but it's like really heavy. You can see how much it is right over here. I'm just gonna write it down. Anyway, I'm also going to have to get used to the Abobe ND filter, which feels really solid. They plant trees if you buy this, so I have to type in a code on my computer and I get they will plant 5 trees because I bought this, which is kind of cool. So yeah, it's a little bit different than what I usually have with the Hoya variable ND filter, and this one is 1.5 to 8.6 stops of reduction. The Hoya is 1 to 9. So basically with an f1.4 lens, I'm actually not going to be able to shoot this wide open on a sunny day because yeah, the ND filter is just not filtering enough. So I think I would need like an 11 stop reduction or something. The lens is splash and dust proof, which is cool, and it has only the focus ring, which is really sensitive, and I think for video it's going to be awesome. For photography, yeah, I mean, I don't really care, but for video I think the soft and the gentle and very sensitive focus ring is going to be a little bit better, because I tend to manually focus, especially for slow motion shots and where I have to manually focus. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using that for slow motion, but mostly what I'm going to use this lens for is for this, like talking head camera on a tripod and me comfortably in focus with using face tracking. So I'm gonna do a test. I'm gonna walk back and forth and see how this tracks. I know it's going to be a little bit slower than the Leica 12-60, which is really fast at acquiring focus. This one is a little bit slower, and this is also the reason why I think the camera, the lens or the camera, when it focuses, it's not constantly coming in and out. So the focal plane kind of stays where it's supposed to be. You know, it kind of slowly follows me. So hopefully I'm in focus, or I'm just an idiot right now. Yeah, anyway, I'm also holding my microphone in my hand because if I put it on my camera, you can actually hear all the echoes in this unsoundproofed apartment. You know, my girlfriend would kill me if I started putting sound panels everywhere. So I'm gonna put this on the camera. I'm also going to punch up the gain to 8, not to 11, to 8. So before I had it at 3 because it was really close to my mouth. This is now at 8 and you can hear the echo. So if I walk back and forth, I know that I'm probably not going to be constantly in focus. I'm probably gonna come in and out, or you know, the tracking is going to be a little bit slower, but it does acquire me and it holds the focus, which is really awesome. And the firmware update 2.4 is also awesome because I can turn around and the camera still tracks my head. You know, it doesn't lose me. Before, you know, if I turned around, the camera just didn't know where to focus, with face tracking, of course. And I'm using this just the typical face tracking, not the one area face tracking. I don't really find the use for that, honestly. Now, I made a video about this. I'll link it in the end of this one. You can click on it. So additional features to the firmware update. But yeah, no, this is how it works. Now, the closest focusing point for this lens is, so the closest focus point is 25 centimeters, which is, I think, about this far. I think I can go closer. I'm sorry for the weird video. Now, this is out of focus right now. But this is kind of the closest focusing point when it comes to focus. Dude, don't do this to me. Ah, yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is the thing, you know, it's slow at acquiring focus, but because of that, it's also not as punchy in and out with the background. So I'm really looking forward and hoping that the background is kind of out of focus all the time. So tell me what you think in the comments. Is it better? Is it worse? Is it worth it? Do you have a Sigma lens? Do you have any good experience or bad? Share it with the wider community down in the comment section. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. And yes, if you hold your microphone like this, you don't really need to soundproof your room. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.